Hello everybody, so this is Jasmina again for another book video review. This is going to be my 8th book video review for the non-fiction books that I've been reading this year. 8 is definitely a little low because I've not been reading as much as I thought I could at the beginning of this year, and a lot of things happen, and I think all of you all over the world will be able to relate to what's happening to all of us because it's called pandemic for a reason. Not just because of pandemic, because lately I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks, and I just discovered an app called Blinkist. If you read a lot of non-fiction books, you might have come across this app called Blinkist, which is basically an app with a collection of over 4,000 titles, non-fiction books. It's called Blinks, so each blink, or rather each book has its own blink. So what are these blinks all about? So Blinkist actually summarizes a book for you. So let's say if a book has about 200 plus pages or 300 plus pages, the Blinkist just condenses or summarizes each chapter in the book for you, and which you can read under like 10 minutes, or if you choose to listen to the blinks, you can listen to them like in about 15 to 18 minutes for one book. So I find this very interesting because I feel like somebody is actually talking to me, and I can utilize the time I travel, and when I'm engaged with my house chores, and I can just listen to these blinks and do my work. So I feel like, somebody is just talking to me, and I feel I am able to like pay attention to the blinks more. And of course, when I feel like, I want to refer back to the blinks, or I want to read the blinks back, I will always go back to read the blinks. And it has been really amazing ever since I choose to subscribe to the paid version of Blinkist. So I had this Blinkist for about a year now on my phone, and I used to listen to blinks because the free version actually gives you one book to listen to or read every day. So I was just listening to them every day, and at one point of time I thought it would be good to invest in Blinkist, because I think all these non-fiction books, it offers you like great value, right? So no matter how good they are, I think they offer you like great values. And for over 4,000 books, you only pay about close to $90 a year, right? So I got it for at a discounted rate. I got 40% discount. I found a discount code back in September, and I made use of that opportunity. So I got it like 40% cheaper. And the best part is you can actually share this account, like you can use one account. It goes with multiple devices, so it doesn't matter if you want to share one account with your family members or friends, or just whoever it is, like you want to access that from the computer or the phone, tablet. It just works with as many devices as you want to access from. So at this point of time, right, so that's how it works. I'm not sure in the future they are gonna impose restrictions to that, just like how Netflix does, and all that streaming apps they do. I'm not sure about that, but at this point of time I think it's great that they don't restrict the number of devices that you can connect with one account, right? So yeah, so the good thing about Blinkist is that before I decide to buy a book, I think I got there's an opportunity for me to gauge how good the book is before I buy it. I'm not saying that you should judge a book based on these blinks, but I feel, in my opinion, I feel that, you know, if the blinks are good, then I feel that the book will have more value to offer to you, or you know, uh, you may be interested to read the full book, right? So it's not about how good a book is, it's about how much value it's going to give you. And I think when it comes to value, it differs from one person to another person, because what you may not know, the other person may know, and they would feel that, you know, it's not really valuable for them, so because they've already known what's written in it. But for some other person who has no access to the kind of information written in the book, and it's something totally new, I think that person will be able to appreciate the book. So I think when it comes to value, it differs from one person to another person. And I'm definitely not saying that, you know, if you find the blinks not good, the book is not good. But I do feel that what's good and what's not good really differs from one person to another person, especially when it comes to non-fiction books, right? So so that's about Blinkist, right? So do check it out if you are interested. And let's move on to the book video review. So I'm going to be reviewing Educated by Tara Westover. So I think you know why, you know, I read the book, because there was like, I think there still is a lot of hype surrounding the book, because of Bill Gates, and because of how, you know, she got interviewed by a lot of the big names out there. So now it was also recommended by a few people that I know personally. So I was tempted to pick up a copy of the book. So what I did was I got an ebook of the book of the book. And so here's a review. And if you've been following me, you know that I actually break the reviews that I do into 3 categories. And I review based on 3 criterias, which is the internal layout of the book, the key takeaway message, and also the plot development, right? So let's go to the internal layout of the book. So now I was reading the ebook, and it was easy to read. The typography, the letter height, the font was just all okay. It was easy to read. So I think you know, when a book has a letter height that is very small, or is just all very it feels crammed into one page, right? So it's very difficult to read. So for this book, I believe even the paperback has somewhat similar format. So I'm giving 10 out of 10 for that. And the plot development. So plot development is going to be having some issues, because now, okay, this book is all about Tara Westover, born in 1986 in the mountainous part or state of in the United States of America. And the family has had no access to education. Her parents had no formal education before, and they kind of like despise the government, despise the hospital systems, despise formal education, you know. So they are also very orthodox people. They are very religious people, very religious Christians, in fact. And so now why I say that I have problem with the plot development is because I feel that Tara Westover in this book, what she wanted to achieve is to tell you how, despite how toxic her family was, able to, how she finally was able to get her doctorate degree, and and that too from a very prestigious university. So that's the gist of the story. But now throughout the book, she was condemning, she was trying to, like, explain how toxic the family was, right? And and also what bothered me a lot was at the end of each chapter there's kind of a disclaimer to tell people, or to tell the readers that some of the parts in the chapter may not be may not really be true, because Tara Westover is actually a memoir, and she is retelling her story, right? So now she's trying to recollect what happened like about 20-30 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago at least. So the recollection of a memory is not really, I think, is either not really good, or because she had some misunderstandings, or probably the siblings of Tara Westover did not agree with certain parts of the book, that she had to add this sort of a disclaimer to say that this incident in this chapter may not really be what it is, right? So that actually made me feel, or made me think, how much is the whole book telling you the truth, right? So now this is why I have a lot of problems with memoirs, because when it's written by the author about him or herself, there's bound to be, like, biasness, and you may not really be getting the actual version of the story. So yes, because of that, like, I've read quite a few memoirs before, and one of it is actually 3 Cups of Tea by Greg Montenson. And I think a lot of people also felt that the facts in the book is not really what it is, right? So it has been manipulated for the author's benefits. So these are the reasons why I think memoirs, you should really see if it is written in an honest manner, right? So I mean, something very difficult to judge, but still I think it's worth to just Google up and see what other people are saying, and to just listen to your gut feelings, and to just not say that the book is great just because everybody is saying it's great, right? So the chapter flows well from one chapter to another chapter. There's continuity, definitely, but it's just that because of the narrative, I felt a little bit difficult to actually finish that book, because I didn't really feel that's engaging for me to, like, just finish it in one sitting, or like at least in a few times of reading. So it was difficult to follow through, although the story was interesting, because I kept asking whether it's true or not. So that made me, I think, that hold me back from thoroughly enjoying reading the book. So for that reason, I'm giving a plot development 7 out of 10. So yeah, moving to the key takeaway message, right? So now the key takeaway message of this book is actually to tell you how some parts of the society, not just in the United States, but I believe that in a lot of parts in the world, you have families restricting you from not doing this, not doing that, because of how the society is. And I think it is not something surprising for me. I think I can understand why Tara Westover actually, grew up in such a situation. For example, she was born in 1986, but I think at least until she was 10, 15 years old, she didn't really know when she was born, or the uh, her birth date, right? So these kind of things, okay, may happen in the third world countries, definitely, but in the United States in 1986, yes, so it may not be something that we think is possible, right? But because of the way the society is, I think, especially when they are all very orthodox people, they come from the mountains, and they don't really have access to the modern facilities, so because of that, it is understandable, because of that, children from these families grew up very different from the others, right? So that is what she is trying to say. But I think throughout the book she was just telling you how toxic the family was, and things like that. So because of that, I feel, I'm giving this book 6 out of 10 for key takeaway message, right? So so that is the my verdict for this book. And I think you may think that you've had a great experience reading this book, or probably you will agree with me, right? So leave me a comment if you've read, especially if you've read the book. Leave me a comment below and tell me what you feel about this book, and I'll be very happy to read your constructive comments and also reply you. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great day, and until we meet again in another book video review. Thank you.